Welcome, dwellers of the internet, to the second part in the multi-part series Raid Analysis and Determination of Significance video series that PlatSkull is doing right here and now. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are on only part 2 of who knows how many parts to come into the future. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting. All of your thoughts are appreciated. Feel free to dive into this rabbit hole with me as we explore what makes the raids significant and what makes them appeal to me specifically and what might also appeal to you. Let's get right into this. After the initiation of Vault of Glass, we are going into the VOG, Confluxes, and Oracles. Let's roll. The next section of this embedded unnerving construct, known as the Vault of Glass, is the domain of the Vex boss known as the Templar. It is he who guards the way to the deeper vault, and the very conflux of time itself, Atheon. But before you can even think about defeating such an opponent, you must get through 2 causality-defying rounds featuring Vex-developed weapons referred to as Confluxes and Oracles. The Confluxes are what the Destiny community and developers refer to as paracausal weapons, meaning they don't rely on cause and effect rule of physics to exist completely. The goal at this section of the raid is to prevent the Vex's religious mirroring sacrifices to these appearing confluxes. Let me explain. They appear through time attempting to exist. You'll gradually start to notice this as a recurring theme in Destiny. Factions attempting to exist in the most significant way possible, namely the Hive and the Vex. Regardless, these confluxes are developed systems meant to create an outcome of time to defy the Guardians, create an absolute future in which our interference means nothing, a future in which we mean nothing, no, beyond that, quite literally, a future in which we do not exist, a present and past where we never existed, and therefore couldn't possibly have come forth to challenge the Templar and his oracles in the first place. It is this outcome which we are challenged to prevent. During this section, we have to defend these confluxes for 3 rounds, in which the Vex attempt to sacrifice themselves to the confluxes. The first round is the simple middle conflux that requires defending of its one source of problems, which are not only the Vex, but several green-lit exploding headless units programmed to attack and self-destruct in the vicinity of the nearest Guardian to effectively mark them for negation. Getting marked for negation roughly translates to you getting selected for the elimination of your existence by the Templar's ritual. If you can avoid and destroy these fanatics of the Templar, you have succeeded. If you aren't so lucky and become marked, your only hope of survival is to enter the pool of light in the center of the area below the Templar provided by Kabir. But beware, you've got a limited number of uses of this pool of cleansing salvation and a limited time to get there before you are essentially erased from history. After the ritual of negation is complete, the next round begins, and it's the left and right confluxes evening out the odds, requiring you to pay attention to more than one spot, and then, holy shit, it's all 3 confluxes that need you to stop the Vex. But, considering there's 6 people on a raid team to help defend, this sacrificial points bit shouldn't present too much of a problem, right? The usual strategy for appropriate completion of the conflux section is to obviously have everyone guard the first conflux and split in half to defend the left and right conflux for the second round. Once the third round begins, it's a simple matter of division. What's 3 confluxes divided by 6 Guardians? 2 each. Mechanically, this encounter is a near mirror to the initial introductory entrance to the Vault encounter. This section, just like its predecessor, is a bit of an introduction to raid mechanics in general. It's arguably easy and only adds 1 extra layer of difficulty to the entrance tower. Not only do you have to deal with waves of approaching enemies, but also the boss phasing into existence at random intervals, which has the potential to catch you off guard and end your light if you're not careful. This, coupled with stronger enemies, more obstacles, and no respawns, seems to relay a message of legitimacy to players, stating that practice is over, and this is a raid. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be much that stands out extraordinarily in the context of mechanics or stimulation through gameplay. If you understand the general goal, it becomes a completely straightforward battle. This raid encounter sticks out to me alongside its subsequent because you are quite literally fighting for your existence. These Vex are utilizing their most powerful paracausal weapons, capable of rewriting and integrating their desires upon the fabric of time itself. When the third round of Confluxes ends, however, things don't get easier. In fact, you must now not defend against the creation of paracausal time-wiping weaponry, but instead face off against and destroy already perfected and active weapons that are even more powerful and nearly transcend what could even be considered a weapon. These mechanized, brightly lit systems blinking into existence are referred to as oracles, and they are less a weapon of the Vex and more near forces of nature that defy it. Systems that create wrinkles and folds in time to create the twisted origami shape of existence they predict. In this section, you've got 7 possible oracles laid out across the battlefield, 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and 1 in the middle. They will appear one after another at random and must be destroyed. If not, they will wipe your raid team, essentially eliminating you from existence. You must destroy every one before the ritual of negation begins once more. If you fail to eliminate even one of the set amount of oracles, they will mark you for negation once again. Only this time your entire team is marked, and is forced to pile together to seek the same solution of the last encounter. Dip into Kabir's light pool. Anyone who doesn't is erased from the cosmos. You must endure 4 rounds of this occurrence, all the while defending against continuously spawning goblins, hobgoblins, and minotaurs. Not only that, but the formidable force of constantly respawning hobgoblin snipers has now been added to the equation, and they are not to be underestimated. And let's not forget the additive fire from the Templar himself, because if you do, you'll almost surely perish. This is where the heat of actual raid level difficulty is turned up a bit. Introductions are done, and you're now facing the sculpted challenge of what a raid is thought to be by Bungie. If you mess up and miss an oracle, you not only cost yourself, but the entire team is subjected to the consequences of your actions, and is put in immediate danger of death. This incentivized cooperation, coupled with the extreme constant fire upon you, pushes you to become a lot more focused on everything happening around you, lest you become a detriment to your raid team and get kicked for incompetence. From the start of this encounter, it feels like an adrenaline-rushed battle, meaning there is no moment where your focus isn't required. If you've just destroyed an oracle, chances are there's a goblin in need of shooting somewhere. If you've cleared them out, you'll likely be faced with the impending fire of approaching minotaurs or sniper fire from hobgoblins that require immediate attention and elimination. And those brief periods of possible lucidity will be interrupted by Templar fire, or simply the next round of oracles sending you into the focused loop of attack until the encounter ends. Afterwards, you're likely to feel the first moment of true relief after a raid section. The moment when you can exhale after being active with no wiggle room to fuck up for an extended period of time. It's at this point you begin to realize what you're truly in for when you subscribe to the idea of completing a raid. You and your team are in it now, dependent on each other and pursuing a common goal. You need each individual for success. Just like Eris Morn and Tolan the Shattered's raid team on the moon, you now walk forth with uncertainty of completion or capability, and with the determination and cohesion that a raid requires of its participants. This is no longer some easily conquered strike or story mission. This is an endeavor that requires your focused determination, cooperation, your absolute best skill, all that you have, all that you are. Your very soul must be placed into the neural network of milky white radio lore that inhabits the mechanical constructs of a unified mind in control of an army hell-bent on integrating and becoming a natural force of the universe, propelling it into the so-called nightmarish perfect shape. Thank you so much for watching, Dwellers of the Internet. This has been PlatSkull, and this has been part 2 of a multi-part series of raid analysis videos to determine the significance of different sections of the raids and the raids as a whole, what they pertain to as far as significance to myself and many others. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and share whatever else it is you feel you should do as far as sharing the information in the video. Thank you so much. Every thought is appreciated through comments and through reactions and through the sharing of this video, so feel free to do so. I will see you in the next one. Once again, this is PlatSkull, and have a good one.